It's official. The Major League Baseball season is over. The New York Yankees have dug themselves into too deep of a hole for them to get out of, and now the Dodgers are in the driver's seat. They are one win away from a World Series title, and Freddie Freeman, he's been a big part of that. And on the Yankees side, Aaron Judge has been a big part of why they are where they are right now. So we'll break it down and much more on this episode of 3 Up, 3 Down. Welcome in, everybody, to 3 Up, 3 Down. I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, and after Game 1, after the walk-off grand slam by Freddie Freeman, I thought we were going to have ourselves an all-timer. I thought this was going to be one of the greatest series that we've ever seen, and it would change the game of baseball forever. Boy, was I wrong. I was totally wrong, but before we break it down, I want to let you know that a large percentage of you watching these videos are not subscribed to the channel, so go ahead, hit that sub button. It's free and it doesn't cost you anything. But let's get straight into it here, guys. I really thought this series was going to be one for the ages. New York, LA, Juan Soto, Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts. It doesn't get better. It doesn't get more box office than that. But I was absolutely wrong. Game 1 was the only good game of the series. Game 2, kind of not a blowout, but just no real pressure from the Yankees on the offensive side of things. And then we fast forward to Game 3 last night. Just another abysmal performance offensively from them, and let's get straight into it. First off, I want to give some love here to Freddie Freeman, who, in the World Series, he's got 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, 4 extra base hits by himself. And the entire Yankees team, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, 5 extra base hits. And if you take away Giancarlo Stanton, those numbers get even less flattering for the rest of the Yankees offense. But they have been a no-show all throughout. They haven't come up with the big hit. They hadn't faced anybody really leading into the World Series, whereas the Dodgers, they were facing elimination in the divisional series against the San Diego Padres, which was everyone's sexy pick to go ahead and upset them. They were a legitimate threat to the Los Angeles Dodgers. And then the Mets series, that kind of a bit of a letdown there, but if it was the Phillies, feel like there would have been a lot more competition face to face there. But the Dodgers had a rough path to get to the World Series. I wouldn't say a rough path, but a much harder path than the New York Yankees did. And the Yankees hadn't faced anybody. They hadn't faced anyone with a legitimate offense. No disrespect to the Cleveland Guardians, but John Kenzie Noel is not coming up with that big hit 10 times out of 10. He's a role player, and he came up with a big hit, which allowed the series to be extended to 5 games. But we all knew who was coming out of that victorious. And then they faced the Kansas City Royals, again, a team that struggles offensively. The Yankees didn't really do too much offensively either in that series. So a lot of that falls squarely on the shoulders of Aaron Judge. And yesterday, something really stood out to me. And I noticed that the Yankees were taking a lot of fastballs. They were being very passive in the batter's box. The Yankees watched 24 four-seam fastballs go by for called strikes tonight. That's the most by them in a single game this season, and it's the second most by any team this season, behind the Nationals, who had 27 on May 4th. So my eyes were not deceiving me, and this is not something that I really thought that deeply into. I knew that the Yankees were taking a lot of strikes and they were not being aggressive. Like, you could tell that Juan Soto late in the ball game, on a 2-0 pitch, he's not ready to swing. He's taking all the way. Why are you taking a 2-0 pitch? You're struggling. You got to get the crowd back into the game. You're taking a meatball down the middle because you're trying to get on base. I understand the thought process there, but you're desperate. Your backs are against the wall. And I thought the Yankees were going to win last night 1,000% because of that desperation, because of the fact that they needed to win if they wanted to extend their season. And now they're facing a 3-0 deficit. 2 more games here left to go in New York if they even get that far. I can't see them winning it. I can't see them clawing their way back into the series. The Dodgers are too good. The Dodgers are playing too well. And the Yankees just look lost up there. And a big reason for that is Aaron Judge, who I wanted to touch on. If Bryce Harper struck out in each of his next 78 playoff plate appearances, he would still have a higher career postseason OPS than Aaron Judge. Is that not insane to you? Bryce Harper, if he struck out in his next 78 plate appearances in the playoffs, he had a higher OPS than Aaron Judge. That's nuts. I don't know what you guys think about that, but that just proves how bad Aaron Judge has been. And yesterday it started off with cheers. It was the Yankee faithful trying to get him out of this bad slump. But then once the game was over, once it was put to bed by the Los Angeles Dodgers, you could hear the boos start to creep back into Yankee Stadium. You could hear Aaron Judge getting booed at the plate. And this is another thing. He was looking for walks. He was not aggressive. He was not ready to swing. He looks so lost right now. He looks so in between that he's late on the fastballs. He's early on the off-speed stuff. He's just totally clueless up there. And it's a lonely feeling. It is a really lonely feeling that Aaron Judge is going through right now. And unfortunately, even if he does have a great game in Game 4, I think it's going to be too little too late. He was a big reason why the Yankees have been struggling so immensely in this World Series. But you could say, oh, the bottom of the order not contributing anything, but they haven't all year. The bottom of the order for the Yankees has been piss poor, for lack of a better word. It was the top of the order doing all of the damage. It was Gleyber Torres towards the end of the season. It was Juan Soto. It was Aaron Judge having MVP caliber year, having one of the best offensive seasons that we've ever seen. That's what was propelling the Yankees to victories. It wasn't Alex Verdugo coming up with a big single in the bottom of the 7th. It wasn't that was winning the Yankees ball games. It wasn't Jazz Chisholm. He helped, but it was those 4 guys that I just mentioned. Torres, Soto, Judge, Stanton. Those 4 guys have been the big boppers all year long for New York. And now everyone besides Soto and Stanton, and Torres actually, they're all playing well. Maybe not in the World Series, but they're all playing well leading into this. Aaron Judge is the only one that is giving them absolutely nothing. Nothing. It's pathetic. And he's a great guy. He's a great ambassador for the game. Don't get me wrong. But it's time we have this conversation now. Aaron Judge, year after year in the playoffs, exposes himself. He becomes a shell of the regular season MVP that we see every year. And that, to me, is unacceptable. That cannot keep happening out of a guy who's supposedly the best hitter in the game. I think he's the best hitter in the game. Not in the playoffs, though. I take a lot of guys before him in the playoffs. I'm just going to leave it there. That'll wrap it up for this episode of 3 Up, 3 Down. Thanks, guys, for making it this far. Appreciate it. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.